Recently, I played a game I bought a long time ago called Hollow Knight. Now, this is going to date the video a bit, but I know Silksong just released as well, but I've been just playing this because I wanted to get it off my list, and it's something that I heard really good things about. So you might be wondering, why am I talking about Hollow Knight on a channel focused on photography and videography? Well, yeah, Hollow Knight's a game that is somewhat different. It's kind of hard, but I think there's a few things we can learn from it that you can put into a photography or videography business or career, and it will teach you some valuable lessons. So bear with me, watch till the end of the video because I'm going to explain certain reasons why I'm saying what I'm saying, and I think they're very useful to think about. So one of the first things you're going to realize when you start playing Hollow Knight is that it is a very hard game. It's not a typical like 2D game where you're going and it's like a cakewalk. It's similar to like Crash Bandicoot, other things where you are pretty much thrown into the fire and you're just like doing everything to survive and get through the game. So one of the most obvious things is to keep trying. In Hollow Knight, you obviously have to keep trying to get to the end goal, which is ideally beating the game. In a photography and videography career, it works the same way. Obviously, there's no real end game, but at the same time, you're going until you basically are gonna close your business, or you're not gonna be doing your business anymore. So along that path, you are gonna want to level up as much as you can. You're gonna want to persevere and not let the stuff that brings you down bring you down. You want to actually keep going, make sure that actually helps you rather than hurts you, and that nothing really destroys your path to greatness. So if I'm going to put in one word, perseverance is what you want to learn from Hollow Knight to put into your photography and videography career. Now, next up, Hollow Knight is also not really so-called linear. Some parts are, some parts are not. And if you go and explore, there are certain areas where you'll just discover by accident or honestly by looking up videos or guides, etc. And especially if you're discovering on your own, you're going to realize that there's a different path to doing the same thing. So for example, in certain places you might go, you can bypass an entire boss compared to having to fight the boss and go to the next area. That's pretty much what I did for, I think, where the mantises are. I went past the entire boss thing. I didn't really want to do it. And I didn't have to go through them. So yeah, I didn't have to go through those bosses, and it ended up giving me a whole new way of looking at the game. And I actually realized I don't have to go and do all this different stuff that really games tell you to do all the time, which is go through a certain boss, go through a certain level. You actually can bypass certain things and get a step up much quicker. So similarly, in a photography and videography career, you can do that by networking. You can do that by going and doing another whole niche that people don't think about, or starting your own niche for thing. There's just a lot of things you can do, and it's just a different way of thinking about it that can lead you towards a different path than you never even thought of. So for example, recently content creators are a bigger thing. So people who may not have cameras, they use their phones and then they create like reels and content for that. Just a different way of looking at things, but they've made a whole like different niche out of it. So it's a great option to think about when you are comparing these two things together as well. Now, another one, which I'm not gonna lie, I got off Google, is the way the visuals look. So if you go to Hollow Knight, you're gonna see that there's different visuals for each area. And when you think about it, these details are key to the experience, and they're key to fitting a whole mood and the atmosphere for what is happening. Certain bosses, certain enemies, certain different things that you have to go through to finish and go progress through the game, or to that area at least. Similarly, with photography, videography, you are going to be able to go through different areas, like a wedding, for example, where you have certain aesthetics, certain different things, and you have to kind of grasp the atmosphere, the mood, and figure out how you're going to go through each different process of what is to be done. So for example, like B-roll, you want to get B-roll of something that's more unique, or some different stuff where it's a different angle from what people usually do. So maybe not straight down the aisle, maybe it's off center a bit. Maybe it's from high up when there's like a place you can go stand. There's different things you can do to frame the experience and essentially get a different look on something compared to, you know, going and doing it the same typical way. And certain details will add to this experience because you have gone through and actually made that happen because of the choices you made to take that thing or to make sure you highlighted that thing. And by thing, I mean like some kind of object, some kind of, you know, moment, something like that. And last but not least, which is something I just honestly thought off the top of my head, but I think it's really important, especially considering Silksong came out, is building a brand, building something that is, you know, unique to people that they will follow and want to watch or want to look at or want to interact with. Hollow Knight, from what I remember from seeing even recently, it was not the greatest received game when it first came out, but there's like a whole following online. There are many people who talk about all the time, and it is something that people rave about all the time. Even Silksong is kind of going through it right now, where it's like getting negative reviews from people who probably don't know how to play or are not as good. I'm not even that good, honestly. I'm just saying because I've been persevering through it. You know, people love the game. People have been waiting for it for a while. So if you create something that has a look and a certain feel to it, people are going to gravitate towards that, and they might defend you. They might help you out. They might be like, okay, this is something that fits your aesthetic, and you might want to go and take pictures of, compared to someone else who doesn't fit that aesthetic at all. These are some key things that are going to help build your business, help build your success. And I personally think I'm going to use a lot of these when I'm thinking about my own photography and videography business, and just thinking about how like my gaming comes into working for my actual business. So that being said, I really hope you enjoyed this video, got some value. If you want to see another cool one, be sure to look at this video over here, or check out the channel right over here. If you want to hit me up on Instagram or any social media, it'll be on screen somewhere, or let me know in the comments down below. I really hope to see you next video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you next video. Peace.